following is an unpaid preview for a game seeking funding on Kickstarter. The product seen here is a work in progress and is subject to change during the duration of the project.
Hi everyone, it's me, Ferdinand the Carpet Stacker, here with the Kickstarter preview of Charted, the Golden Age from Jolly Dutch. This is a enterprising game where you're trying to buy stocks, build up these little enterprise buildings, and trying to merge them together and make some profit. Okay, let's go ahead and take a closer look.
Chartered, the Gold Age, is a stock game where you, a merchant, are looking for profit from the trade in 17th century Amsterdam. Players will be building enterprises of a commodity, trade stock, and hopefully merge enterprises and amass wealth. The player with the most money at the end of the game wins. Each player will be dealt a number of building cards which they start in enterprise. They can play one of those buildings on their turn to start one, taking an enterprise headquarters and 3 warehouses. A founded enterprise looks like this, with the warehouse in a row and the headquarters on top. When building a new enterprise, it must be at least 3 spaces away. Players can also expand an existing enterprise outward or build up. Each added warehouse adds 10 to the enterprise stock and 10 each above the first level. Level cards that build up can only be used for the indicated floor, and by doing so increase the stock of that enterprise. A building placed on the 4th floor will increase its stock by 40. When expanding, 2 or 3 enterprises can merge. When 2 merge, the bigger overtakes the smaller and adds its stock total to it. If 3 enterprises merge, the player gets to select any 2 of the first merged together, like before, then merge the last enterprise, following the standing merging rules. The leaving enterprise's stock must be sold. After playing a building card, the player can trade stock, buying or selling any available stock up to 2 times in the current market, or buy a flag stock worth 4 stock of an enterprise. The first flag stock costs 200 and the second costs 400. Only 1 flag stock can be on an enterprise, and 2 flags can only be purchased for the entire game. Instead of playing a building card, the player can buy a building card for 50. This is the only way to get level cards, which is the better way to increase an enterprise stock. If a player cannot play a building card, they are forced to sell a stock or a flag stock and then buy a card. After all available warehouses are placed on the board, the game ends. All stock are sold, and the winner becomes the player with the most money.
So the main thing about Uncharted is that you're going to just go ahead and build up an enterprise, buy stock when they're low, build them up a little bit, and hopefully it gets swallowed up by one of the bigger companies. And then you would, as they get merged in, you would be able to sell to earn a profit. For the most part, I think the game is pretty easy to learn. There's not a lot of the rules are very, very straightforward of what you have to do. There's only 2 things you really need to do, is either buy a building card or play one of the building cards you have in your hand. Now, I do like that there is this incentive of putting your buildings into play. You can hold them, you know what you have, and you kind of steer the market in a way that you can hopefully make a bigger profit of it, but you do have a penalty at the very end of the game if you don't build with those cards. It's a very small penalty, although, but sometimes because you just can't really make it because someone else has a card or the card's actually left into the deck. But I do like this building up, and the board looks really nice with all these little pieces. Even though this is a prototype copy, I think it'll just look just as outstanding as it is now. Now, there'll be this inevitable comparison to another game called Acquire, and Acquire is very, very similar to this game. And I mean, you're just buying stocks, you're building up a company, you're going there. I think that this game actually plays a little better. I think the gameplay is a bit more refined and it plays quicker. And because in Acquire you need to have at least 2 blocks to actually put there. It's quite random. You only start with 6 blocks where you can put your buildings in. It's a grid, and it looks really boring as you first seen it. I mean, it's still a great game. It's probably one of the very first kind of like Euro style games. But I think Chartered is something, as I say, refined. It does put into the thought of everything is mechanical. It's very, very streamlined. How mergings happen in the game, and that it doesn't really lose steam as that things bring up. But most part, you can, like, from Acquire, there's a lot of things in it that can happen. Like, it's a game. Both of those are games of strategies. You have to really do something in the beginning. If you don't, then you really will get punished and be left behind at the end. Something that these kind of games happen. It also plays just a little quicker than I would feel Acquire. Also, I think it caters to more players a little better as well, even though it does use a different mod. The game's going to be just a little longer, but I think as it is, I think it does scale for the players better. Some stuff that I did overlook, events. There's event deck. I mean, it doesn't quite drastically change the game. It does give it a bit more flavor. It gives the market a bit more ebb and flow. It doesn't make it very swingy at all, but it's kind of cool to see some of this. It's a little, and it feels a little historic lesson in there as they put into the cards. It's again about player count and the board. So here's the board. Here is the first face of the board, as you can see, and if I think I'm gonna flip it, it is gonna be a little different in there. Yeah, so it's kind of cool to have a different board for a different number of players, and I do like that it's double-sided, so you can switch over when you're having a bit more players who want to enjoy this kind of game. And that's it for Uncharted, the Golden Age, a really fun stock market game, as I said. Go check it out. It's on Kickstarter right now. You can find it on the description below, and see if this is a game that you like to support. So thank you for watching, and remember to keep on stacking games.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel for more videos on board and card games. This is the Cardboard Stacker, and remember to keep on stacking games.